Reading from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, conclusion, the perfection of renunciation. Text 1. Arjuna vacha sanyasasya mahabaho tattvam ichchami veditum tyagasya cha rishikesha prathakeshi nishudana. Arjuna said, O mighty armed one, I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation, tyag, and of the renounced order of life, sannyas, O killer of the Keshi demon, master of the senses. So Arjuna is calling here Krishna as master of the senses, Rishikesh. We think all the senses belong to us, but actually they don't belong to us. This body actually does not belong to us. It belongs to Krishna. That is our misidentification. And then he's calling Krishna killer of the Keshi demon, because Krishna had killed the Keshi demon who came in the form of a horse. So Arjuna wants Krishna to clarify the doubts in his mind, to kill the doubts in his mind. Actually, the Bhagavad Gita is finished in 17 chapters. The 18th chapter is a supplementary summarization of the topics discussed before. In every chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna stresses that devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate goal of life. The same point is summarized in the 18th chapter as the most confidential path of knowledge. So what is Krishna trying to tell us in the Bhagavad Gita? That bhakti, do bhakti, engage in devotional service. And that is the highest and the ultimate goal that you can do. Devotional service unto Krishna by hearing and chanting his names. So if by reading Bhagavad Gita for many, many years and repeatedly hearing, if we have not yet come to understand this point, then we have to ask ourselves the question, what is wrong? What is it that I'm doing? Is it that I'm not hearing the Bhagavad Gita from the proper sources? Is that the edition of the Bhagavad Gita? Because Bhagavad Gita has been commented by many, many people who themselves don't understand the message of the Bhagavad Gita. There's so many different editions of Bhagavad Gita out in the market which don't speak anything about Krishna. I have read one such of them. And it didn't speak anything about Krishna, although everyone knows that Bhagavad Gita is the song of God. It's the instructions of Lord Krishna to Arjuna. And that Bhagavad Gita didn't even speak about Krishna, didn't even mention Krishna in it. So we have to be careful which Bhagavad Gita we are reading from, hearing from. So right now we are hearing from Bhagavad Gita as it is, because it's as Lord Krishna spoke and as as Arjuna understood it. That is the unique contribution of Srila Prabhupada. It's his mercy that we have this correct knowledge to us. Otherwise, we wouldn't be sitting here discussing it. In the first 6 chapters, stress was given to devotional service, yoginam api sarvesham. Of all yogis or transcendentalists, one who always thinks of me within himself is best. So the last verse of the 6th chapter, Krishna says that many people like to do yoga, they like to do meditation, some people like to acquire knowledge, they're on the Gyan platform. But what does Krishna say? That one who thinks of Krishna within himself is the best. So of all the yogis, of all the Gyanis, the one who's thinking of Krishna is the best. In the next 6 chapters, pure devotional service and its nature and activity were discussed. So from chapters 7 to 12, Krishna is speaking about Bhakti Yoga. In the third 6 chapters, knowledge, renunciation, the activities of material nature and transcendental nature and devotional service were described. So in the last 6 chapters, Krishna is describing Jnana Yoga mixed with Bhakti Yoga, knowledge. It was concluded that all acts should be performed in conjunction with the Supreme Lord, represented by the words Om Tat Sat, which indicate Vishnu the Supreme Person. So in the 17th chapter, we read that all our activities, all our charity, our penances, whatever we do should be done for the Lord. That's what the Vedas say, Om Tat Sat, do it. And that's why when any hymns are spoken, they begin with Om. That's the Supreme Lord. That's Krishna himself. The third part of Bhagavad Gita has shown that devotional service and nothing else is the ultimate purpose of life. This has been established by citing past acharyas and the Brahma Sutra, the Vedanta Sutra. So in Bhagavad Gita, time and again, repeatedly, every verse is stressing the same point. Devotional service to the Supreme Lord, Bhakti Yoga to Krishna. That is the highest goal. And the evidence has been given. Evidence is being given that the past Acharya said that, and the Brahma Sutra is saying that, the Vedanta Sutra is saying that. Certain impersonalists consider themselves to have a monopoly on the knowledge of Vedanta Sutra. But actually, the Vedanta Sutra is meant for understanding devotional service. For the Lord himself is the composer of the Vedanta Sutra, and he is its knower. That is described in the 15th chapter. Every scripture, every Veda, devotional service is the objective. That is explained in Bhagavad Gita. So the goal of all knowledge, so much Veda, so many voluminous work, there's so many scriptures are there. And what is all the scriptures trying to explain to us? They are explaining to us that bhakti, devotional service to the Supreme Lord, is the highest goal of human life, and that we should engage in bhakti. We should engage in devotional service and go back home, back to Godhead. As in the 2nd chapter, a synopsis of the whole subject matter was described. In the 18th chapter also, the summary of all instruction is given. So 2nd chapter is contents of the Bhagavad Gita summarized. Krishna speaks, he gives like everything in a summary form in the 2nd chapter to Arjuna. And then the same again in 18th chapter, he's giving a conclusion of all what he have already spoken. The purpose of life is indicated to be renunciation and attainment of the transcendental position above the 3 modes of nature. Arjuna wants to clarify the 2 distinct subject matters of Bhagavad Gita, namely renunciation, tyag, and the renounced order of life, sannyas. Thus, he is asking the meaning of these 2 words. So he's asking, what does renunciation mean and what does sannyas mean? The 2 words used in this verse to address the Supreme Lord Rishikesh and Keshi Nishudana are significant. Rishikesh is Krishna, the master of all senses, who can always help us to attain mental serenity. Arjuna requests him to summarize everything in such a way that he can remain equipoised. Yet he has some doubts, and doubts are always compared to demons. He therefore addresses Krishna as Keshi Nishudana. Keshi was a most formidable demon who was killed by the Lord. Now Arjuna is expecting Krishna to kill the demon of doubt. So are there any questions or any comments on what we just read? If no, then we can stop here for today. Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vinde ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for